Alright, guys and gals, welcome back to the Daily Rift. I'm going to be your host for this episode. I am Pat, the Twiz Harrison, and today I have a little treat for you. It is called an average high ELO game on the EU servers, and this video was submitted by Moworth on the European server, and of course it came from clgaming.net. So, before we get started on this, let's go ahead and give you a quick rundown of the champion selection of both teams here. So we have Shaco playing Moworth, or Moworth playing Shaco. Aslate, I hope I'm saying some of these right, I may not be, on Nidalee, Circeus on Cho'Gath, Songs on Teemo, and Burries is going to be rocking out the Janna. And on the purple team, Zeratos is Soraka, Kingdon on Swain, Okeen being the AD carry is Ashe, the jungler is going to be Nunu, and that is Inzur, and I don't even know how to say this, Arnawa is going to be on Shen. So a quick look at starting items here. Shaco going to be jungling for these guys here, starting off at the double golems, and he's picked up his cloth armor, 5 health pots, couple Doran's rings coming from these guys, boots and health pots from Teemo, who's probably going to be playing the middle here. And Janna, the mana manip, early on, that's going to be a great item for her lane, and she's probably going to be see Janna and maybe Nidalee together here. Cho'Gath possibly going to be soloing the top lane. And Shen picking up the Null Magic Mantle, which is a little bit of awkward item to see starting out with early in the game. Doran's Ring on Nunu, since he's going to be jungling here. Swain picking up the Sapphire Crystal and some health pots. And Soraka with a Doran's Ring as well. So now that that's all underway here, let's go ahead and get this started here. As we're seeing right now, the blue team immediately coming in, going to defend this jungle here. Cho'Gath and Janna going to position themselves here, and they have used their Clairvoyance, which has spotted the purple team on the blue buff now. Shen kind of playing a little bit defensive here, hiding in this bush, and Cho'Gath's got to come forward here and push these guys back right now. So Clairvoyance is down, and we're seeing Shaco as he's placed, I believe he's placed, no, Nidalee dropped one of her wards there, I believe. One of her little spears, or little traps, or whatever the heck they are. So now these guys are off to the lanes. We're actually going to be seeing Teemo and Janna taking the bottom lane here. Nidalee is going to be covering the middle. Cho'Gath taking that solo top lane.
Minions have spawned.
And Cho'Gath taking a little bit of a strange route here. It looks like he's cut through their jungle now. Clairvoyance going out here, nothing spotted. So Shaco's going to feel pretty safe, going to be taking down these double golems here. And Cho'Gath positioned in this bush here. Looks like he may be waiting for something to come up here and seeing if maybe he can catch a person off guard and try to do a little bit of damage early on here. So Swain's going to actually be their middle and going up against Nidalee in the middle lane. So that should be a pretty good matchup. And we're going to see Shen and Cho'Gath up top with Ashe babysitting Soraka down here at the bottom lane. So one thing you want to look at here is a lot of wards, a lot of the traps being placed by Nidalee very, very early on here, as she's making sure that she can maintain map control. Clairvoyance is out, and that's going to catch Nunu here at their wolf camp. But nothing's going to be happening. They're just going to try to keep an eye on him throughout this game. And just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on in middle here. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the action, is we're going to see Nidalee begin to go for some of these spears and possibly try to chip Swain down. Swain does have 2 health pots and that Sapphire Crystal, so he's going to have a little bit of sustainability in the lane here. And looks like right away we're seeing Soraka attempting to try to zone this out as Teemo was forced back there, and then immediately these guys started to target on Soraka. So Soraka Ashe can be a pretty devastating lane. These guys do have a very strong opportunity to allow Ashe to gather this free farm, as well as that harass from Soraka and from Ashe, so they do get that in-lane sustainability. So we're going to see these guys doing a lot of harassing down here. Nunu's now positioned himself through the jungle here as he's going to go towards the double golem. Possibly going to come out for a gank, I don't know. It looks like Shen's tries to position himself up there. He does get ruptured in silence, but I don't know exactly how much damage is going on. Oh, he is almost dead there. Down to just a couple health bars there as he's finally refreshed. And we did see him take quite a bit of damage. Remember, Nunu's in this area here, and it's about time for Nunu to begin to come out for these ganks. But Shaco might start to head out there as well. He's got a little bit of health, and he's going to go ahead and finish up on the blue buff here. Janna attempting to zone from the bushes here, so we're seeing her just kind of poking a little bit on Ashe and Soraka. Let's talk a little bit about these starting items. Doran's Blade from Ashe. Very, very strong item here, especially because she does have that Soraka sitting there babysitting her. Janna with the Whirlwind, and she's going to be running back here. Ashe trying to come up with a volley. Janna down to just a couple health bars. And Teemo now trying to chase down Soraka, or Ashe, who's nearly dead. Both team members flashing there. Almost dead. Silence from Soraka going to hold him back and make it so he doesn't get that blinding dart off. But both of these guys are forced out of that lane at very, very low health right now. So great job from those guys, as Janna did get forced back early on. But Teemo being very, very aggressive when the minions were on those guys and just causing a ton of damage to Soraka and to Ashe, and that's going to be forcing those guys back. They may try to sit back here and kind of turtle a little bit at the tower here, but that's still not going to put them in a position. And Janna trying to go into there, have now began to commit themselves to Soraka. Soraka being forced to flash out of that fight. Very, very low health again, and she is out of there, and I did miss the first blood as Nunu comes out to gank, and he does manage to do that with Shen, and they're able to take them down in the top lane here. And Swain going to be going back there towards middle. Shaco now coming after Swain, and Shaco going to pick up the kill on Swain in middle, and that was after Swain just basically destroyed her with all that burst damage that he was able to put out, but not able to hold up against the damage that Shaco had put out. Plus, he was so low on health. Nunu coming back around here towards the middle, and he might try to come in here and go for a dive on Shaco. And we're seeing him just kind of harass and push him out of there. And here we go, Nunu coming back in one more time. Shaco almost dead, barely going to attempt to escape from this. And yeah, he's going to have to get out of here. He does use his health pot, but now Nidalee coming back and relieving him from middle lane. Cho'Gath finally coming back towards the top lane. Looks like he's still on par with level with Shen. He may have been able to push him back a little bit early on. And again, we're seeing Ashe just instantly getting harassed back from the top lane here, as these guys are doing a very, very strong job of making sure that she's not able to gather up the farm. And what this is doing onto her CS is, you can definitely see this reflected here. She is at 16 CS right now, compared to the 21 CS that Teemo's at. And Soraka and Janna obviously not taking any kind of farm there from the bottom lane. But these guys now both backing out, and this is going to give Ashe that opportunity to farm back up a little bit more of that gold from the bottom lane here. As far as middle's going, let's see. Nidalee's at 24 right now, and Swain is at 29. So Swain barely leading there in middle, although he does have the first kill and has pushed himself ahead in level compared to where Nidalee's at now. A lot of line of sight going out here, making sure that these guys aren't going to be overextending themselves into a gank, because Nunu is missing, and we're seeing Janna just kind of huddle around that clairvoyance, able to drop that ward down. So we do have an early ward here on Dragon. Nice defensive ward up here at the top lane that Cho'Gath dropped down here to make sure that Nunu isn't able to sneak another one past him and get the kill. Soraka coming out here, dropping down the pink ward, and that's going to be the end of these guys' ward. So all that hard effort that Janna just did to drop that on has just been counter-warded. And now the sight that they had on Dragon, they do not have any longer, which is bad, because Nunu is definitely a champion that's going to be able to snag that early on, just after a couple items. So now we're seeing Janna asking for a gank at the bottom lane, and Shaco says he's going to go ahead and swing over there after the red buff. So red getting ready to spawn up here. Shaco is prepping for it. Swain going for that stun in middle, not able to get it on Nidalee. Nidalee just sitting back and just last-hitting creeps right now. I've yet to really see her try to harass with any of those spears, although we're seeing Swain stay very, very tight onto these neutral creeps so that he's not putting himself into some kind of a position where he's going to go down. Or take a hard damage spear. So Shaco now rotating around towards the middle lane. He's going to try to position himself here. Deceive up and over the wall, and now he's going to begin to go in this fight. Should be pretty viable, because we're now seeing Nidalee begin to come up there. The stun's going to grab both of these guys. The ultimate from him is now going off, and these guys probably are not going to be able to get an ignite going off. And now Swain's sitting at half health, and he's going to be able to escape from that. Swain really should have known that was coming when Nidalee began to play so aggressive there. Shaco was invisible. Sorry if I can say my words right. Swain now using his ultimate here to try to fill up some of the health, and he's going to gather a few more bars there. But I think Shaco's gank effort should have been lent a little bit more towards the bottom lane, where they were in a little bit stronger position here. Swain just using that stun defensively to hold both of those guys up there, as well as his ultimate going at the same time, made him nearly impossible to gank there. So Shaco now hitting level 7, and looks like he might be trying to hit up this bottom lane for a gank. And there we see he is now invisible, attempting to come in on this. And now they're beginning to go in on Ashe again. Ashe did have her flash up again, and she was able to escape from that. Her flash is now down. Soraka's flash is probably back up now. Swain again going after Nidalee in middle lane, and she's just being forced to heal over and over and over again because Swain's just able to drop this loads and loads of damage onto her, and he has now established a very, very strong lane control as you're seeing him begin to zone her out. Until he realizes that she's going to have mana to throw one of those spears. And now we're seeing him play back and go into this defensive mode again where he's going to hide behind these neutral creeps just to make sure that nothing's going to happen to him. The score right now being 1-2 in favor of the purple team. 9 minutes, 28 seconds into this game, as you guys can see up there. No wards up from the blue team right now as the ward up top has gone down. Actually, sorry, nope, that's not even a ward there. They did drop a shroom there. Two champions here with good skills for line of sight, and that's going to be, of course, Nidalee and Teemo. So there's no reason that these guys shouldn't have this map. Just tons and tons of traps and lots of shrooms to make sure that they're not going to be put in situations where they're going to be ganked. So let's take a quick peek here. I'm going to pause it so I don't miss any action. And hopefully it doesn't lag here. All right. And see exactly what we're looking at for items builds now. Shaco's already picked up that Wriggles Lantern. And warding going on from Cho'Gath and Nidalee. Both those guys picking up wards here. As Nidalee's picked up her Ruby Crystal and Sapphire Crystal. And it looks like probably maybe an early Rod of Ages for her. Shen does pick up his Giant Spell. Possibly going for that early Sunfire Cape. Would probably see him try to rush Aegis a little sooner than Sunfire Cape. Unless that's something that maybe Soraka's planning on building here. Otherwise, no big difference in any kind of items. So we're seeing Swain just landing that stun on her, and Nidalee taking a ton of damage in the middle lane as he was basically just setting him up with those spells. So Swain's very, very good to play, and his skills coordinate very, very well with one another. So you drop that big E-bomb on top of them, which is going to be the dot as well as increase the damage. Then you hit up that Q, which is going to slow them, and you slow them right into that stun. And Shaco coming behind in middle here, and we're seeing them both try to commit on here. The ult is now off, but they do have him. I believe he's ignited here. Yeah, he's ignited, trying to run away from this, so that's going to limit the amount of healing. As we're now seeing Nidalee and Shaco both going in. Nidalee picking up the kill from that. Ashe Arrow coming from bottom lane, but everybody able to get away from that. And now we're seeing Cho'Gath go down at top as Nunu and Shen both able to just go in on top of him and take Cho'Gath down. So Cho'Gath not doing very good up there. Score 2-3 right now, and the purple team definitely seem like they're a little bit stronger here early on in the game, as it took quite a bit for Nidalee and Shaco to be able to actually kill Swain. Just that ultimate makes him so tough, even though he can overextend and put himself into a bad situation. That ultimate is just going to bring everything out and allow him almost to get out of a jail free card, unless it ignites up. If that ignite comes up, then he does find himself in a bad situation and he drops down like we had seen there. So let's take another look at CS right now. 67 CS from Cho'Gath, 71 CS from Swain in middle. Shen's got 72, so Shen out-farming the Cho'Gath up at the top lane here. Swain out-farming Nidalee. And at the bottom lane, one of the most important lanes where we're going to see a couple carries riding it out. Teemo sitting at 49, where that Ashe is already up to 59. So the laning phase is definitely going into the hands of purple right now. Later on in the game, I see blue team with a lot more line of sight later on in the game, and I mean really, maybe a little bit more damage output, but they're going to definitely need that because they have virtually 3 tanky champions that they're going against. When Swain's ult goes off, he becomes very, very tanky. Nunu naturally tanky, and Shen, of course, another very tanky champion. So that's going to put these guys in a little bit of trouble. And then you have Soraka there for heals, so it's going to be a little bit tough. And if we're going to see something done, it's going to really have to be done in the mid game. I mean, I don't see these guys being too strong, pushing into the late game. That's for the purple team I'm talking about. They're going to really have to fight hard in the mid game here, because there's going to become a point where Teemo, Shaco, and Nidalee are going to be able to put out more damage than what Nunu, Shen, Swain, and Ashe are going to be able to do. So again, going on another gank at Swain, and this may have turned into a bad situation here, as we're seeing Shaco immediately being put to very, very low health there. Heal from Nidalee onto him, and he's going to run away from this fight. Maybe consider going bottom, where we're seeing Janet continuously harassing Ashe, and mainly putting the harass on Ashe there, not too much on Soraka. So Nidalee with another spear there, and we see her missing that. So she picks up a needlessly large rod here. And Swain has picked up that catalyst, which is going into his ROA. So Nunu now coming around here, and Shackle being forced to deceive up and over that wall to get out of position there, so Nunu is not able to annihilate him. Oh, and what a shot there from Ash as Ash shoots Shackle in the face. Cho'Gath does come in now. The Rapture up and the silence, and now they're trying to come in after the Shen ultimate onto Ash. Shen now back into this fight here, and now this is completely turned against him as we see Shen come in and taunting Teemo there. And that Ash ult hit him right in the face. So these guys using this as a strong opportunity, possibly attempting to gather this dragon. Nidalee does run into Nunu there, and the ultimate is off. Nidalee being able to jump out of that before taking too much damage. Swain now coming in with the stun. Nunu running away from this fight here. And now we're seeing Shen come back around from the side. A lot of the damage now, everything trying to focus on Swain, but his ultimate is off, and everybody's found their way to this fight now. Swain nearly going down right now. Shen running around here. Janna ultimate pushing everything away, and we're seeing Nidalee, and she's going to be going down here, barely coming alive, and no, she does drop down at the hands of Shen, and now Cho'Gath's found himself into the bad spot as well, and that's going to be a second member of these guys going around. Swain stun up, and he drops down as well, so Swain picking up that double kill here, and that's going to leave 5 of these guys all at very low health here, but they're put in a position where they can actually push up and possibly take this middle tower. Large creep wave here, and Soraka here to heal everybody up that took some damage. Janna with the whirlwind trying to push these guys back, and now we're going to see that tower beginning to chip down, and here we're seeing Nunu and Shen both coming up and gathering around Dragon here, so not only are they possibly going to take a lot of tower damage, maybe lose a tower, but they're also going to be losing the Dragon in this process as well. So they do get pushed back away from the tower here, but that doesn't change anything. The Dragon was lost. So some more global gold for these guys. So middle tower, they're losing half of its health during that fight. So we're at 15 minutes 47 seconds in, and that might have been enough gold for Swain to finish up this ROA. Nope, he's decided not to go ROA yet, and he's built a giant spell. A little bit different than what I had expected there. So the score being 2-5 right now. Purple team's going to be the team that's in the lead here. And the gold-wise guys, Purple team's been winning in all of their lanes up to this point. Well, actually, Nidalee's caught up a little bit there in middle. That's the big thing to look at. This Shen 3-0-1. He was able to pick up that Sunfire cage now. I'm still staying in with what I'm saying here. If these guys don't begin to push here a little bit, I can definitely see Blue Team coming back at the end of this fight. Just look at the damage output that they're going to have. I mean, these guys are only going to get tankier as far as like Shen, Nunu. You know, if they can avoid Nunu's ult, there's not going to be a lot that he can do. Swain will get a little bit more damage output, but it's not going to be the kind of burst that we're going to be able to see out of Teemo, out of Shackle, out of Nidalee, and then that damage that Cho'Gath can bring to the table as well. So we've got Nidalee now going after Soraka. Soraka using her flash to get away from this fight. She does toss her heal out there. Nidalee going for the spear, not able to land that as it goes barely breezing by her head. And that's going to put a lot of MIAs on the table here. Cho'Gath needs to really focus and begin to push this tower here. If they can start to push this tower up here and get somebody to be forced to be seen on the map, then it'll be fine. So we're seeing Swain running into Shackle here and just doing a ton of damage to him right away, just like right off the bat here. But no, they decide to go right up top here. Now Nunu and Shen both decide to go after this Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath's nearly dead. He is going to drop down at the hands of both of these guys. Nunu picking up that kill. And I said he really needed to push that while they were pushing down here. So this is another fight that's not going their way, as we're seeing Janna going to be dropping down at the hands of Swain. And now this is going to put Nidalee out here in the middle of nowhere. There's not going to be a lot she can do. and the rest of this team just gathering themselves up around her. She throws a spear. She's missing it. She's now into Cougar form, trying to run away from this, but no, she's going to run into Swain. Swain buffing up that stun. She's running right out in front here, and will she get away from this fight? Swain going to be barely close enough so he can come in and go with the taunts. She's in Cougar again, trying to hit these bushes, running away, barely able to escape out of this, and she is still going, and she is going to get away from that, as she's being able to use that movement speed from the bush to actually escape from that fight. And Shen, no matter how fast he was going, wasn't able to catch up there. And now we're seeing these guys begin, and they have decided that they were going to tower diver. So now she's trying to juke around this tower, and we're seeing Ash and Swain, Soraka, everybody gathering around this and beginning to actually target the tower now. And this whole team has found their way over here, and now we're going to see Nidalee dropping down. Finally, these guys, and she has overstayed her welcome. Nunu coming in on Teemo and Janna, and these guys are just not put in a good spot at all, trying to defend this off, but their tower is going down. Soraka just sitting back here, kind of pounding away at it, and the rest of the team going to follow up here. We're going to see this tower drop down here, and there it goes. Bottom tower has gone down. First tower here going towards the purple team. Score 2-9 right now. These guys are definitely in a really good spot, as we have seen Shen run into Teemo here. Teemo using his run fast to attempt to get away, and he's going to be getting out of there. Shen trying to jump across and taunt Shaco, but he's able to escape just in time before being taken down by these guys. At this point, these guys are very tanky, and they control the mid-game here. No doubt about it, the purple team is very much in control here. If they wanted to, with their team lineup right now, they could just tower dive these guys and just easily take down 2 of them. The Cho'Gath 0 and 4 right now, going to be one of the biggest problems. He's definitely hurt them up at the top lane. He's managed to keep on par with levels with Shen. Barely had in CS, but he's given Shen quite a few kills there. So one thing let me get out of vents here. I don't want to hear anybody talk. I need to be in a broadcasting channel. So one thing to definitely pay attention to, guys, all of the stuff going on here, the warding is still very, very light from these guys. Yeah, there's a lot of shrooms up. Teemo's done a very good job placing those, but we're seeing very, very little traps from Nidalee. So we need to see Nidalee beginning to trap a lot of the areas on this map so that they can maintain line of sight, especially through the jungle now. You don't want to let these guys sit back and turtle up even more in the jungle here and gather all that stuff. You need to position yourself where you can grab that gank, snag that Nunu a red buff or something like that, and play 4v5 and try to push towers that way. Shaco does run into Soraka there, and he's able to take Soraka down at the bottom lane. We caught the very end of that, but he just the damage output there was way too much for what Soraka could handle. He's picked up his Phage as well as his Wriggles Lantern and the Boots mobility early on. Janna running into Ash here. Ash using her ultimate, going in immediately on her, and Janna's going to not be able to get away from this as she tries to whirlwind herself out of this, and she does go down. Shaco now using this as an opportunity to possibly gather some chip on the tower here, but knowing that Ash is going to be right here, we're going to see her come up and attempt to land this volley. Volley going out, and it doesn't hit her, but hit Shaco, but able to definitely push through these neutral creeps here and help to clear that out. Swain being very, very aggressive in the middle lane as he's pushing Nidalee back already. Oh, excuse me, lads. Didn't mean to yawn for you there. And Nidalee just misjudging yet another spear, not able to do that. We're seeing Shaco attempt to go on Ash here, but Ash is just able to poke and juke and kite stuff around. Clairvoyance going off in the bush here to see where he is at. And these guys have gathered up in middle now. Remember, this middle tower nearly down at this point. So what's going to happen here is these guys are going to let these neutral creeps push up and try to poke away at it. Next fight going to possibly be around Dragon, maybe around Dragon, maybe not around Dragon. Oh, but Nidalee landing that spear on Soraka right after she had done a heal, so she's sitting at about half health right now. Oh, she does toss a heal onto herself. Nunu forcing Janna back and away from this, and these guys are going to have to give up this Dragon. We're possibly going to see Nidalee go for a spear here and grab it. But nope, Dragon has been finished up here, and that is the third Dragon that this purple team has gathered up right now. Another spear from Nidalee going nowhere. I don't believe that was hitting anyone. And these guys at this point, I believe blue team or purple team can comfortably take the middle tower without very much interference from this team. So Moworth trying to come back around here. He does walk right into that stun from Swain, and that's going to push him right out of this fight early on. And we're going to see Nidalee trying to come here for some damage. Shenron coming on to Swain right now. Shen trying to come inside here and possibly keep these guys up. Ash staying positioned way towards the back of the fight here. Soraka tossing lots and lots of heals on her to keep her safe. That tower nearly down. Janna coming up onto her here. Spear from Nidalee not hitting again. Oh, and there we're seeing her take quite a bit of damage as she almost drops down to about 4 bars of health. They're able to toss a heal on herself before she does go down. But this middle tower nearly down. Top tower did drop down. Sorry, I didn't catch that for you guys. But top tower does go down for the purple team here. And these guys are considering going for the blue buff. I think that at this point, poking around at middle is going to be a little bit better idea. If you can land one more good spear from Nidalee, you can actually nearly commit yourself to one of these fights. So this team now posted up here. They have caught Soraka there, and now Soraka is in a really bad situation. She tries to flash out of it, and she's going to get caught by Nidalee, and looks like Teemo going to come in there and get it to finish up there. 4 versus 1, and they're able to grab that. We're seeing Swain push around from the side, but there's not going to be a lot he can do as he runs into that Teemo shroom being slowed. And these guys need to... Wow, Ash manages taking down Shaco, and now we're seeing Shen come up to this fight, possibly ready to commit himself in here. And I wonder if Swain was going to use this as an opportunity to possibly attempt to push up middle lane a little bit more, because it is almost down. With that middle tower down, it's going to give these guys a lot more ability to not allow the purple team to stand here and hug their tower, or the blue team to stand and hug their tower, which is something they've done quite a bit throughout this game. So there we see finally a trap here from Nidalee, so that's going to be a very strong point there, as they do have Dragon trapped there. But Dragon did go down. As you can look on my map here, a lot of the focus now needs to be turned towards Baron. Warding needs to occur right now. We're nearly 25 minutes into this game, and purple team is definitely in a position where they can gather up Baron. So Shaco's picked up his Sheen, now going for his Zeal to possibly finish up his Triforce. About 26 minutes in right now. Ash Arrow does come off, and it does land on Janna, and now these three are going to try to go into this fight, and nothing's going to happen. There's Janna able to escape that Swain stun. As far as... Cho'Gath being caught inside that ultimate, he is running back here. These guys may choose to attempt to dive this tower, and yep, they have run into this tower. We're seeing the Rupture go up, and we're seeing him eat as he eats Shen. Shen using that stuff, he's nearly dead, but Teemo's going to come up here with Janna. Janna with the slow on him. Shen nearly dead as he is attempting to run away from this. Teemo could begin chasing here, and it looks like Shen's going to get away from this fight, but they need to get focused on Nunu, who's going to escape as well. Ash and Soraka coming up from the side, nearly running into them. Wow, Ash turning back around. Ash at this point is doing quite a bit of damage. Swain going to come in here, possibly catch Nidalee. Stun is up. Nidalee going to jump up and over it, so no stun for him today. Shaco now coming around here. Oh my god, if that would have hit, that would have put Shaco in a great situation to take down Swain. And now they're going to see him, and here they go. They decided to go in on Swain, and Swain being ignited here, so that's going to ruin all this stuff here. Shen ultimate, and they're able to take him down before that ultimate's able to get in there from Shen. So Swain does go down here. That puts them in a good situation to attempt to push this middle tower. As middle tower has gone down, I wasn't able to catch that either. It went down to neutral creeps. Soraka pushing up into this area here. Possibly going to be dropping a ward down here at blue buff. And there we're seeing a teleport to the Teemo shroom from Cho'Gath, and now they're beginning to pin up Soraka. Soraka running down through this part of the map here, and now we see the Deceive up and over the wall from Lower, playing Shaco, and she's going to be going down. So even though I believe they did get a ward up there, still probably wasn't worth the life of Soraka, as she does go down here. And this puts these guys in a very strong opportunity to begin to try to push this middle lane, and try to at least get that tower chip down so they can be put in a position to take it down. Cho'Gath building some key items here. Glacial Shroud's going to be built into the Frozen Heart, which is something they're definitely going to need to get to Ash. Shen does pick up that Oracle's Elixir, so Shaco definitely needs to pay attention to that. But for a couple different reasons. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons is Shaco using that stealth to come behind and force Ash out of the fight early on, as well as the Teemo shrooms that are being placed out throughout the map. So Shen now going after Shaco. Mainly just to scare him away and not allow him to gather that free farm up.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
So now they have been able to pick up the bottom tower, so we're looking at 2 towers to 2 towers here. 6-12, the current score in favor of the purple team. And Nunu just kind of hanging out in this area up here. I'm guessing that since they've got this warded, we're going to see Nunu attempting to come in here and try to take down the blue buff. And we're seeing Swain along with Nunu following up on Cho'Gath. And Cho'Gath trying to escape away from this fight. Another slow coming off here. And Shackle has found himself into this shot. And now look at this Swain trying to force him out of the fight here. As Swain takes quite a bit of damage. Just 2 shots there, nearly taking him on. And look at that shot there from Nidalee, as that's going to take Swain down to very, very low health. And he is trying to escape from this fight. As Janna does run up there and get the slow on Shen. And now Teemo trying to get in this fight as well. Shen immediately going in on Teemo. Ashiel going to be taking Teemo right into the face. And these guys are trying to follow up here and kill this. Janna ultimate off, trying to save him. Will it be enough? Teemo barely able to... No, he's not able to escape there as Ashe is able to get that kill. And Ashe now taking all of her focus onto Cho'Gath. And Cho'Gath taking a ton of damage here as Ashe is just keeping him slowed down and nearly going down here. Janna being pushed out of this fight from... Oh, she does get a flash over there. Whirlwind! Yep, we are able to catch that whirlwind there. And... Wow, this fight's still going in favor of the purple team. Only one that was left up there was Shackle, and he's not going to be able to finish it up. These guys are going to rotate up here and hopefully take him down. 7-16 the score right now. Purple team doing much stronger in these middle, still in the mid-game fights. One thing that we're going to have to see is a lot more damage output coming from Shaco. It has to be done. As well as Nidalee hitting a lot more of these spears. She's just not hitting enough of them on the right targets to be able to make herself completely viable. Ashe 7-0-1 right now, so a lot of the farm has gone towards the carry. She's already picked up an IE. She's grabbed her pickaxe and her longsword. So she's going for that last whisper quite early here, and picking that up as her second item. So very, very strong and very sustained damage output that we're going to see through this game. So it won't be long before we're seeing her build some attack speed items, possibly like Phantom Dancer, Black Cleaver, something like that to add on. I would prefer Phantom Dancer at this point. Very, very strong complement to the Infinity Edge. So that might be what we're going to see her gather up as her next item. Nidalee positioned at the blue buff here, and we're seeing these guys come up and around. She needs to hurry up and gather this as we now see Swain. Swain is up there, and they've picked up Baron. That's one thing I'm sorry I didn't notice from you guys here, but they did pick up Baron. Swain stealing that blue from Nidalee here. And these guys now going to attempt to go for this dragon here. The rest of the team was positioned up here. Swain was able to steal that blue, but these guys are going to pick up the dragon. So about time the blue team first dragon here. Purple team already gathered up 4 of them for this game. And these guys have Baron already. So we're going to see a lot of them sitting back, not really crossing the river, and a lot of turtling waiting for this Baron buff to go off, or attempt to force these guys into a fight around the tower. Which is exactly what they're doing. They have decided to set up on the top tower now, as we've seen Shen go into this, and is he attempting to take this down. Cho'Gath answering back up there as we see him going up there and killing that neutral creep wave. Swain and Soraka both trying to follow up here and keep pressure on the middle lane, try to force these guys either in a team fight here or grab a pick on a rotator here. But Ashe still way back here. She's now going to be defending this bottom lane. But a lot of times you'll see people posted up in the woods here looking for this rotation that we're seeing right now out of Teemo through the woods here, where they can actually snag that kill and then force themselves into either fight 4v5, where they're going to have the advantage, or to give a tower. Nidalee with another spear, not able to get it, and we're seeing this right away. Swain just a ton of burst damage on these guys. Janna pushing herself a little bit too far there, and maybe beginning to commit these guys into a fight that they're not quite ready for at this point. Now we're seeing Ashe rotate from the bottom lane all the way around. Shen able to grab that turret there. Shackle going to try to grab Ashe. I don't know if he's going to be strong enough to take her down, though. He's going in on her. A couple shots there, and he does get slowed. And that's going to push these guys back out of here. Swain going to be forced to come back here and possibly attempt to defend this. Nope. Ashe deciding to come up here at half health. Shen is not with them, so this is a prime opportunity to see this Deceive come out of Moworth and see them take that Ashe down very early here. While Shen is actually pushed away up here with his Oracle elixirs. So here we go. They are in here at the middle tower, and the Ash Arrow does go out, and we're going to see him immediately going after Ash, and look at this, Ash just completely dropped to the hands of Shaco. Shen now coming in with his ultimate. They're trying to follow up on this and grab it. Nunu with his ultimate off, and these guys, just a ton of damage drops down as we see Moeth finally going down at the hands of Nunu there, but not before Ash drops down. Nidalee being killed as well here. Cho'Gath and Teemo both trying to fight this tower. These guys have chosen to tower dive this, and the tower's barely putting any kind of damage on these guys, and there they go. Cho'Gath knowing that he's going to have to run away. He's not going to be able to stay there and defend this. Trying to do enough just to push these guys back. Swain at very low health as well. Silence does go off, but no, that's not going to be enough to stop them as they've chosen the tower dive again, and down's going to go Cho'Gath. A lot of this doing to Shen. Shen 6-0 and 7 right now. Quite a bit of tankiness, as well as some good sustained damage output up to this point. 33 minutes in the game, and these guys are already past their moments of shine. I do not see blue team coming back and taking this, as their inhibit stuff is now down, and this bottom tower going down as well here. And they have chosen not to surrender at this point. Nidalee missing yet another spear here. So Shaco around here trying to defend this. Shen attempting to come in here, and they made an attempt to dive this. With him and Nunu there, they can possibly do this. Deceive up and over, and now they have chose to dive it, and now we're going to see Shaco begin to try to put out as much damage as possible here, as he's now backed into a corner at this tower. And that tower is going down. Shaco's right here in the bush, and he's going to get caught by Nunu, and now he's going to drop down. Nunu with his ultimate off, and we're just seeing a ton of damage take place here. Shaco barely able to escape from this fight. Bottom tower, it will be going down any moment now, and there we're seeing an Ash Arrow, and it lands in it! Boom! As I barely catch that Ash Arrow there, and it takes down Shaco, lands on him right there at the tower.
Has been slain.
This Ashe has just played very, very well throughout this game, and the score definitely reflects it. 8-1 and 4 right now. A very strong farm gathered up early on. Now built the Brutalizer, so that Brutalizer going to be built into the Youmuu's Ghostblade, a nice item that's going to give her a lot of attack damage. Damage as well as speed, and more importantly, armor penetration up to this point. And yep, she does grab that Youmuu's Ghostblade. So very, very strong damage output by Ashe right now, which is going to be their kryptonite this game, that she's just going to be able to sit back and have all of these tanks meat shield for her, and just sit back and take down the teams. One thing about Shen is Shen does give you that ability and strength to build cookie cutter around the champions like Ashe, where you can just get solo carried by your ranged AD carry. So keep in mind, it's not as bad as it used to be. It's not where you would get Janna, Morgana, and Shen on the same team, and you could rock out Kog'Maw and just completely annihilate teams no matter who they played or what they did. Nidalee saying that they can still win. I don't see that happening. 8-23 is the current score right now, and I think at this point Ashe just has way too much damage coming out for these guys to possibly be able to do anything. Shaco beginning to position himself possibly for an attempted Baron. Pink Ward going down for these guys here. Shaco does run into Ashe, attempting to run away from this. Will he be able to do it? I don't believe that Shaco or Shen's ult up, but no, Shen is right around there, and he's going for it, but oh my god, barely, and yes, he does drop down. So Moeth able to slay Ashe there, and these guys now trying to come in here and possibly see what they can make out of the rest of this little half-assed fight right now, and neither team here ready to fight this, as the majority of both of their damage is both out right now. And now they began to put a lot of their attention on Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's barely going to be able to escape from their Rupture, going to be pushing these guys back, and these guys are deciding that they don't want to fight here. Nidalee being slowed by Nunu, and Shen trying to come in here. Janna with the Whirlwind up there to try to push them back, and Shen now attempting to come into this fight here and try to take one of these guys down. And again, neither AD carrier is there right now, but look at these neutral waves just pushing themselves into this base right now. These guys have decided to go in on Shen, but they don't have the damage to really kill him. And here they go. The fight is off, Janna being the prime focus right now, and they are able to take down Nunu here. Shen attempting on this fight. Teemo does drop here. And Janna going down as well. and now Shen attempting to go after Cho'Gath, and Nidalee going to try to test her luck out as she is now trying to go after Shen. Shen waiting for that dash to buff up so he can get out there, and there he goes. He does dip out. Swain trying to use that. Sorry, I heard an Ash arrow there, but didn't see anything yet. But Swain using that stun defensively there to hold them back so that Shen could get away. Surrender vote is up, and still we're having no surrender right now. And these guys have chosen to go after Baron now, so they are there. Shaco now running over there. 4 people are there, and this is not what they want to do. Baron, wow, a steal on Baron, and they are able to steal that Baron buff, but they need to just get out of here. Nidalee running away at this point, far, 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 far away. As he was able, I believe that was a smite from Shaco that stole that Baron. And Nidalee saying, we can still win, we can still win. Teemo, if you don't play, I'll ban you.
Your inhibitor has respawned.
And Teemo with question mark here. Inhib now up, so they are going to be getting a little bit easier sustainability of middle. Now that they're going to have the stronger creeps, but that's going to stop these guys from coming in here. Ash running into that Teemo shroom, and that's immediately half healthing him. And now we're seeing the Ash show, but it goes on to Cho'Gath, not exactly their prime target that they would want to go on. Oh my god, what a hit there from Nidalee as we're seeing, wow. And they're still focusing the tanks here. They're just doing nothing but focusing those tanks. And Nidalee landing another spear, and that spear is just doing a ton and a ton of damage right now. Nidalee trying to run away from this, but Shaco is there, and now they're going to grab that kill on Nunu. Nunu using his Zhonya's Hourglass to attempt to get away here. Ultimate from Shen going on to Nunu. Nunu still attempting to take this tower, and now they are all 4 down, and this should be good game for these guys here.
You have been slain.
So these guys shouldn't have a problem pushing up here and winning this. Next one up is in 20 seconds, and that's going to be Janna. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of this replay. Purple team taking down the W here. And, yep, that's how that's going to happen. So those guys picking up the win. So good game to all the players here. And shout out again to CLGaming.net for having this replay up on their site, guys. Otherwise, thanks for watching this episode. And make sure that you guys subscribe. There's a contest going on right now where I'm going to be doing a drawing on a couple of these weekends. If you haven't seen the video, take a look at the video, but I'm giving away some Pax Jacks, Riot Cinch, as well as some RP cards. So make sure you guys get subscribed so you get the opportunity to win one of those. Otherwise, again, thanks for watching the Daily Rift. Adios.